Kuphi nakuphi emakhaya emadolobheni asekomplasta khona. Warm welcome to this week's edition of Ilungelo Lakho. It's your right, your leading consumer affairs TV show. Sinethela ke uhlelo bahamba phambili SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. Sakata bukhoma futhi isikhathi sinye na ku SABC Le High and SABC Plus. So today on the show we're getting real about the beauty beyond the shine, beyond the glow and beyond the glamour. You know, daily millions of South Africans use hair dyes, lash glues and hair adhesives, believing they are completely safe. But are they really? So we'll be tackling the ugly side of the beauty industry today. Asingene shika enzabeni yethu namhla. From vibrant hair color to flawless lashes and sleek hairstyles, beauty products play a huge role in how we look and feel every day. But behind the shine, the strength and the styles lies a complex world of chemicals that many of us rarely stop to think about. Bukele kula malanga sasibone ke bathengila abaningi ku social media babonisa ke bungoti lobendiwe ke imikhiqido yebuhle lobutside noma ke yekunakekela sikhumba. Asasive ke nakumbiko lesendelwe ke unkhanyisa Lavisa. Khanyisile Lavisa that is.
Ihombo ayonto ingaqhelekanga kulamaxesha esiphila kuwo. Nokuba uyindoda okanye ibhinqa, wonke umuntu ufuna ukhangeleka emhle kwaye eziva ngcono. Kodwa ngamanye amaxesha ubuhle buza nemingcipheko engalindelekanga. Oratile Matlaopane waphungula inwele esenza lento ekuthiwa yi-haircut, waze wafaka ne-dye njengesiqhelo. Kanti kukweli lixa egaxeleka kobungalindelekanga ubungozi.
I tried out a new barbershop, as in like just close by here actually. And then I decided to do some hair dye. The next day, I literally woke up with a reaction on my trim line. The first thought was that like maybe they didn't sterilize the machines properly because I've been dyeing my hair for years. So I decided to go to the nearest clinic and shop. Like they saw me and then they gave me some antibiotics and some painkillers. And after 3 or 4 days, and then I was okay.
Emveni kobo bungcono sekuqenqeleke inyanga okaMatlaopane obuyele kumchebi wakhe wesiqhelo. Wacela ukuchetywa nofakwa idye kwakhona. Kwaphinda kwenzeka esisehlo sangaphambili. Sibuqatha nangakumbi kweli lixa.
The reaction was like you can say 10 times worse than like before. So like there's like yellow pores here by my trim line. The reaction like literally went like from 0 to 10, like within like 10 hours.
Wonganyelwa luvalo okaMatlaopane. Wabalekela waya kwigumbi loncedo olungxamisekileyo kwisibhedlele esikufutshane. Nalapho wanikwa khona amayeza wafaka nestofu. Emva koko wakhululwa. Kodwa isimo sakhe asizange sibe ngcono ncam. Kwanyanzeleka ukuba aphindele abuyele esibhedlele. Nalapho wafika walaliswa iintsuku ezintandathu ukuze abe uyacaca.
And except that I came home around like 3 a.m. Like that 3 a.m. All right, I slept. In the morning again, this is Monday morning now. So Monday morning, I wake up with the hopes of that my forehead will be now, let's say back to normal. Yeah. And only to find out that the swelling went from like my scalp to like near my eyes, actually, as in like here. 2 hours later, my eyes were like literally like this big. And then I went back to the hospital. Then they noticed that this is not getting any better. So that's when now they decided to like literally admit me now.
Ibali likalo kaMatlaopane lisikhumbuza ukuba singabathengi komele sithathe ingqalelo yezinto zobuhle esizisebenzisayo eluswini.
The advice that I would love to give to the viewers is read the instructions of anything you buy, and like literally anything and everything.
Khanyisile Lavisa, Ilungelo Lakho.
And now to unpack what exactly is in some of these products, the safety, I mean, how do you really protect yourself? Asamukele Dr. Nokzola Khoza, she's a dermatologist, and samukele futhi na Petro Ntaba, lokhulumela i-National Consumer Commission. Ladies, a very good afternoon to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome. And I'm sure you are aware that this discussion today is not really gender specific. Both genders are affected, like we've seen this insert, the patient, he's used the dye several times before it affected him. Why does it affect him at a later stage?
You know, it's a question esithola all the time when someone is surprised on what their normal favorite products now all of a sudden turns on them.
Yeah.
And the body and the skin is strange in the sense that what the case that we are listening to, he's describing what we will call angioedema, and sometimes we'll call an allergic contact dermatitis from an ingredient or a product that you are using. It does happen that sometimes when you apply a product or an ingredient, it gives you a reaction immediately.
Okay.
So that is when, let's say, an ingredient touches the skin and it's a harsh one and it causes irritation, and that's immediate. But sometimes the body needs to get sensitized. And so you will introduce an ingredient and it creates this process of sensitization until the body actually learns that maybe this ingredient is a threat to me. And once you get to that level, then it will react and give you a reaction. So allergic contact dermatitis is an immune reaction that the body mounts towards an ingredient that has been introduced over time, because we build antibodies, we build reactions to things that we perceive as not good for us.
But is it really the ingredient that is the issue here, or is it just other factors that we may not be privy to?
I would say both, because sometimes there is a key ingredient driving the immune reaction. But most times than not, I would also say that there's multiple factors, because obviously no ingredient is an island. When we make products, they have other stabilizers, other preservatives that accompany them to make that particular ingredient work. But also, it's not always the product. Sometimes there are patient factors. So if you're looking at an ingredient, maybe you and I can be exposed to a similar concentration and we'll be fine. And next time we're exposed to a higher concentration and you will mount a reaction and I will not. Yeah. So what are those factors? We are different. It's personal. You live maybe in an area that is hot, there's climate changes, there's environmental changes. There's also uguti, maybe you had an irritation or inflammation in your skin and then you put a dye. So that plus the ingredient then pushes you to react. So there's patient factors, there's product factors, but there's always a star or a key ingredient that leads the pack. But sometimes, it's very difficult to say, it's definitely this. Because okay, you reacted to something and you look at the person, but there's other factors.
There's
maybe
other factors,
they have allergies, maybe they have a genetic history of eczema, maybe so it really is a multifactorial most times. But I also don't want to say that is it never the ingredient. It can be, and situations differ.
And Petro, I guess it boils down to what rights do consumers have in terms of regulations of such products? Because oftentimes we've seen products for decades, products and abazange complain ngalo products now. It's only now that these products are starting to give us problems. Would you say ukuthi ikona i-chemical letsite labayifaka manje, to push volumes? No, there's just something else that consumers need to know.
Look, it's really difficult to say. At times, they would change a supplier or a manufacturer of a particular ingredient, right? So when they add it, then it creates a problem. We've recalled a number of products as the National Consumer Commission, your roll-on, your hair cream, for example, where our consumers were actually reacting to Lama products. Now, when we engage Nama suppliers or my manufacturers, but they realized that they changed a supplier of a particular ingredient. Figure clash with one of, as Utoka, it's not, when they produce Lama products, it's a number of ingredients. Yes. But there's one ingredient as a clash. But I think the case study mentioned something very important, that when we use Nobayepi product in the market, understand the ingredients, understand also use a product ulandele zonke instructions, so that now when you file a complaint with the National Consumer Commission or you engage a manufacturer or a supplier, you are then able to say, I followed all the instructions to the T.
Okay, please hold your thoughts, because I want to engage you a little bit further on this. I see we'll be back after this commercial break. Leli, lungelo lakho. Welcome back, everybody. Namhlanje sikhuluma ke ngebungoti bema products latsite etinwele noma ke esikhumba ukuthi ungativikela kanjani ukuthi ke utikhanze sokukhinya betekile ngenzaba ekusebenzisa ema products tsite. Some of these products are not even regulated, they're not even legal, they're not even allowed in South Africa. Sine dermatologist kanye ke na Phetho ubuya ke lapha e-National Consumer Commission. Now, before that break, I just wanted to engage you a little bit further, Phetho, ukuthi ukhulumeke ngema recalls of some of these products. Ukuthi at what point as the NCC arrive at a decision ukuthi ke kumele urecall lawo ma products lawo? And do you also consider that it could have been an allergy reaction issue that has caused, multiple reactions on so many consumers, or could it just simply be a regulation issue?
Look, when we recall a product, one, a supplier or a manufacturer or a distributor will then inform us to say there's an issue here, so we are recalling this product. What is the problem? The extent and the distribution of footprint, right? Okay. That's number one. Secondly, we then monitor e-market as well as the National Consumer Commission to see what consumers are complaining if there are other recalls in other countries. From time to time, they will be announced. This is because they announce in other countries, but then we then engage a distributor in South Africa to say we see a recall in country A, B. Are we affected as South Africa, so that we are then able to notify South African consumers? Now, to come into the question of reaction, a number of people. Now, I'm really not clued up when it comes to the issue of the distribution of a product or when a product. But the assumption would be they have to test the product. Yes. That by Bonogut is acceptable to the market, which is the users, so that when they distribute in bulk by Azoguti, what are the possibilities for Abantu to react? Okay. Different people, different countries, looking at the climate, looking at ethnicity, for example. The language, it's a thorough process. Now, for a supplier or a manufacturer to say, no, that part of the society or clientele, they're just reacting to this, it means then there's a problem with that particular group of people. Because I think it's important also to understand that as a new product, Tina Songe. She can use the product, I'll be fine. It treated the problem that I also have, and then it makes any problems, Okay. So you also need to understand what is it that you are dealing with when, as a consumer, it's your responsibility now to understand the product itself, to understand ingaba yenzele wena. Do you know of any reactions or nazo? Do you have any other ailments before even using a product? Doc mentioned the issue ye eczema, for example. If uzawusebenzisa a product thambisa ubuso, dye and whatnot, you need to understand what do I have a skin rash? What happens if I use the product a skin rash? You know, so it's a very sensitive topic, but unfortunately we have to talk about it so that we educate our consumers ababukele kaya that it's also your responsibility. Now, once ube ne reaction, again, kufuneka kubeko a causal link between the reaction and the product that you would have used. And that's where UDOC comes in, where a supplier or a National Consumer Commission would say, for us to hold a supplier or a manufacturer accountable, we need to now have a causal link. Your responsibility, you go to the doctor or a dermatologist. Then City, yes, indeed, it's because of ingredient 1 or 2, kule product. Then there is, you know, a link. It's very difficult again to prove that, but our role as the National Consumer Commission, kuqinisekisa ukuthi i-supplier or i-manufacturer ikubuyisela back kwisimo ubukuso. Lese usebenzisa i-product yobuso, wa-reactor, wacha and what have you. It's their responsibility ukuthi bakuse kwi-dermatologist, utreatwe. If it happens ukuthi uyaziyela wena ngemali yakho, xa uyisiya kubo okanye singenelela thina, we now say bhatala imali yakhe le ayisebenzisileyo. Yes. So but there has to be a causal link. Hence in City, it's a thorough process, starting from understanding ingredients, the product itself, following instructions, and now being able to track and say, okondisebenzisa le product over this past time or period of time, dinga react. Why this time around? Is it in medication endithathayo, a clash na le product as well? So it's a lot that happens. Beauty industry, it's not as glamorous as beautiful as.
And speaking of, Petro just touched on quite extensively on the causal link, and perhaps a different dimension to a causal link would be, you know, whether the different racial groups or the ethnic groups, is it a factor really in terms of determining ukuthi le product lena iyangisebenzela mina ngingumuntu lomnyama noma ke lomunye umuntu in a different racial group?
That's tricky. And I think I will use, so yes and no. And that is something that lies on the cosmetic side when companies are formulating products. Because yes, they should do background research and they formulate products for specific ethnic groups. So, I mean, now we have an influx of Korean products in South Africa that are not specifically formulated for the African patient or the African climate. Now, if you look at hair, for example, our hair is so diverse. Black hair, like ours, is a little bit dry. Indian hair is a little bit oily, and maybe Caucasian hair is in between. So when you're formulating a hair product, you have to think ethnicity. And so if I now go and I use a shampoo or a moisturizer that falls in the other spectrum, I am maybe going to suffer from hair breakage, hair loss, because it's not for me. So it does, to a certain extent, does think of ethnicity and racial, you know, variations, but sometimes the beauty industry just do pack. And it is the consumer or the patient's kind of, you need that intuition to say, read your labels. Is this for dark skin? Is this for lighter skin tones? Is this for dry hair, normal hair, or oily hair?
Yeah, asasizeke swayisebenzisa ke le product lena that is meant for a different racial group, noma ke lighter skin than me. So yini ke lama early warning signs like kumele ukuthi ngiwabuke kubona lokuthi ke you know, should I ignore these symptoms or should I just continue using it?
I think it's simple things. I mean, the skin will always give you red flags. Itching, a stinging and a burning sensation for me will say, you know, gone are the days where we used to go to the hair salon and they put a relaxer and they're like, oh no, just wait. You know, if it's burning, your hair is going to be straighter. If it's burning, you're burning. There's no in between. The more it burns, the more effective a product is. Redness, scaling, itching, a rash, burn is just, you stop. That's not yours. All
right. Let's pause right here and take an ad break. We'll be right back. Leli, lungelo lakho siyabuya khona manje. Welcome back, everybody. We're still taking your calls on 0117140671 and 0117140672. You can also send us a WhatsApp to 060-844-9857. Ungasithumela futhi ne-email kuconsumer@sabc.co.za, or you can even like our Facebook page or post your comment there. And I'm sure that so many of you are using either hair products or skin products, for beautification or for health reasons or for whatever reason. So namhlanje sikhuluma ngebungoti bema products latsite langabanga i-reaction tsite esikhumbeni sakho noma ke emtimbeni wakho ngenzaba ukuthi lawo ma products lawo akakavumeleki emthethweni. They are not regulated by the authorities. We've got the National Consumer Commission and as well as a dermatologist in studio to talk about some of these problems and some of these issues. Like I said earlier on, we're tackling the ugly side of the beauty industry today. Now, Peto, when nomaktiwage e product has been legally approved, what does that approval really mean? Nangabe itawubanga tinkinga ngemva kwesikhathi for mama consumers.
Look, there are specifications for certain products in South Africa, throughout the world, right? That e-manufacturer, when they produce these products, kumele balandela ama specifications. In South Africa, we have NRCS, kunama products that they regulate, ama specifications akhona. We also have SABS, bazangama standards.
Yeah.
But if we don't have ama standards in South Africa, then i-manufacturer basebenzisa international standards, right, to ensure ukuthi ama products wabo aya comply. Because ayikho country ezovuma ukuthi kungene i-product willy-nilly. But we see beauty industry and other industries, unfortunately.
International standards. Why would manufacturers use international standards that may not necessarily apply in the South African context?
For example, if we don't have ama standards or we don't have ama specifications in South Africa, because the authority or NRCS, kunama products that they issue ama specifications to say, when you manufacture this product, kumele ilandele 1, 2, 3, be it maybe a vehicle or certain parts, components, the motor vehicle.
Okay.
But then in terms of now ama standards, it's South African Bureau standards, your ISOs and all that. So irresponsibility of manufacturer to ensure ukuthi they follow those industry standards. But in a case whereby we don't have those specifications in the country, kunama international specifications or standards that we have, they have to, because are acceptable internationally. That product ingasetshenziswa any nakwiphi a country, right? So irresponsibility now your manufacturer to ensure ukuthi ama products wabo amita ama standards for that particular country, or at least international standards, so that when our products are tested and we get those international standards, we are then able to say, okay, lena ikwazi lu comply here and there. But now when you talk about the beauty industry, it's an industry that is very complex.
Okay.
Udok earlier on mentioned e-products ezingena, ezinye are not even allowed in South Africa. I think it's important to actually mention Simpiwe Uguti. Kunama products obuso where abantu bawasebenzisayo to lighten their skins. Those products are not allowed in South Africa. When we do inspections zethu, we're working with NRCS, for example, and other regulators, we literally remove those products because are not allowed, but also si understand ubungozi babo bezo products ezo individuals okanye kubantu abazisebenzisayo. So when we do that, senzela ukuprotecta i-consumer. But i-burden shouldn't be on the side of the consumer, to go through yonke la process, having to test the allergies zakhe anazo before using a product. Irresponsibility manufacturer to ensure ukuthi ama products wabo aya comply.
Okay.
But then we also say to our consumers, let's work together. When you see a product, a hype around the product, social media and whatnot, rather check NODOC, for example, when can I use this product? I've got these ailments and all that, just so that at least you protect yourself. While we are still trying to, as an industry, as regulators, I think we'll get to a point whereby we say to the beauty industry, come together. Let's have now industry codes so that we are then able to follow up. And if Sibona a product, we are then say, ibelonga phi le product. Ingaba ama-codes ayalandelwa. If
Okay.
ama-codes awalandelwa, what do we do with the manufacturer or supplier of the product? We want to get there.
Just on that point now, Dr. Khoza, uma ngabe sengisebenzisa i-product, let's say, and then I have a severe skin reaction, well, the argument could be that my body is not used to this particular product. But nangichubeka ngisebenzisa the second time, the third time, then my body adapts. So should I continue using it? What do you say to that argument?
For me, if you have a severe skin reaction to a product, let's say case in point, you should actually stop.
Yeah.
Because
So you don't agree with this
with
insinuation
pushing
that
through.
my body is not actually used to this product, but
Yeah.
after a second usage, then umtimba wami soyaqala uya-adapt uyajwayela.
So that's not the right way of doing it. And the right way, that's not the message I want to communicate.
Got you.
Severe reactions can lead to scarring. And the thing about drug reactions and ingredient sensitivity is your first exposure may give you a mild reaction. The more you get exposed, the worse the reaction. So if you listen to what our previous case study said the second one was worse. And sometimes those can be life-threatening. So we
Okay.
don't play. If you have a severe reaction, if you're swelling on the face, blisters, that's quite severe. That's systemic. Your body doesn't want it. So now to test and try and push is not going to
Ngoba
work.
ngeke
for
wathi
you.
ukuthi the second time umtimba
Because
uta-reacta kanjani.
You don't know. And two, you may feel lucky for a couple of, of months. I mean, just to bring in formulations change, and maybe the second formulation milder, but you don't know the third one.
Okay.
And it could be that. And you just don't want to test your immune system that way.
Alright, sasivile ke mbukeli ukuthi ke nangabe kukhona ke product ithile loyisebenzisako, nangabe iyakugulisa iyekele nje. You develop a skin reaction or a rash or whatever, iyekele. Ungabi naleli themba lekuthi hayi no mhlambe uma ngisebenzisa kwesibili itaba ngcono ngoba umtimba wami utabe sowujwayele. So shito ke dokotela, she's the expert. Besiyini thina. Bukeli ke sibambe lapho sithi sishilela ngasetitolo. Hlala kanye nathi siyabuya khona manje. Leli lungelo lakho. So, participation lines are still open for you to take part in this very, very important discussion. You can call us right now, 011-714-0671, noma ke 011-714-0672. Ungasithumela futhi na WhatsApp ku 060-844-9857 noma ke usithinze ku Facebook noma ke u-email. You can email your views to consumer@sapc.co.za. Namhla ke sikhuluma ngebucoka bekwadi ukuthi ke yini i-product yesikhumba noma yetinwele loyisebenzisako nekuthi ke ihambisana yini nemtimba wakho noma nesikhumba sakho nekuthi ke uma ngabe sekwendekile ukuthi ke ube nema reaction latsite yini ke lokumele ukuthi ukwende ke. And that's a point I want us to discuss further on Petro ukuthi nangabe kuyendeka ukuthi ngithola i-reaction let's say from this particular product, kumele ngishayele bani? Kumele ngishayele le store lapho ngithenge khona noma kumele ngishayele i-manufacturer yaleyo product noma ke kumele ngitsinze le-office lenu le-NCC?
Look, once ube ne reaction, stopping ukusebenzisa product well and good, because awazi bona kuzakwenza ngantoni. But swishiya apho, inform the manufacturer. When you look at a container le uyisebenzisayo in a customer care line, tell them ukuthi nansi reaction endibe nayo. But also do inform a National Consumer Commission. Ungafumanisa ubana you are not the only person who reactor kula product.
Yeah.
So ours is uqinisekisa ukuthi South African consumers are protected from further harm. So if we ayisebenzisa and then stop and then throw the tap away because usithi ayisebenzeli, unale reaction, you treat the reaction, how many South African consumers are also doing the same thing? Whereas sikhona, once we inform a National Consumer Commission, we are able to follow up with the manufacturer to say, look, there are these complaints, what is happening? We can actually even compel them to test the product abanayo. But now, when manufacturers, they produce a product, there's a retention sample but now if you throw away they might not be able to match the product. But it doesn't mean ukuthi akhona abanoyenza because batch isekhona kwi market.
If angamatch, angisho naba manufacture in batches, the assumption is yonke le product la in this
Certainly.
page iyafana.
Certainly, yes. So when you say di-reacte kule product, but ube uyilahlile, they might say sicela leyo product leyo so that sizotesta sibone ukuthi what's the problem. Is it the same product le esinayo? Because we know at times ezinye products, umuntu angagalela, mixe ezinye izinto. So it's important that you inform a manufacturer, but also inform the regulator, inform the National Consumer Commission. We can compel them to test the product.
Yeah.
We can compel them to recall that particular product. But importantly, sifuna uqinisekisa ukuthi wena as a consumer, number one, i-manufacturer or i-supplier ikubuyisela back to imeko ubukuyo before using a product yabo. You had to go to a doctor, a dermatologist and all that. Mababhatale imali yakho and ensure ukuthi ubuyela back kule meko ubukuyo before using the product. But also protect other South African consumers or consumers in the Republic of South Africa from potential harm. Because if a product is distributor, it's not safe, we are not informed, i-manufacturer izawuqhubekeka isiza nale product okanye bethengisa le product kanti ine damage eyenzayo. So it's important ukuthi sisebenzisane as a consumers as well as a regulators or the National Consumer Commission so that we really understand product safety is one of the most important aspects is a consumer protection throughout the world. Last year, EU adopted product safety regulations. Just to say, zonke country in the world must qinisekisa ukuthi products zabo are safe. From production, distribution, throughout the lifespan your product. Should anything happen, life cycle rather, your product, mabaqinisekisa ukuthi bathatha uxanduva, recall or remove that product from the market so that we distribute a product is safe. But if we are not informed, at times, simpiwe kuna consumers that will complain on social media. We follow up, one or two, we follow up, and then they just disappear. I told them, I actually want to complain here. And funu faga a formal complaint. Maybe it's well and good, but at times we are then limited because anyone can say anything on social media, but they also run the risk now of being sued by some brands because umtangati, brand damage and all that. So we exist to help you. We exist to ensure Uguti, you don't fight that battle. We are able to call the supplier. We compel them to say, come, let's talk. What's happening here? Okay. Why are we not recalling this product if it's not safe?
And I want to engage you a little bit more about the grounds that a manufacturer can sue you by complaining about having an adverse effect as a result of a particular brand. Now, Dr. Khoza, Emma families, can they use the same product? If my brother or my sister is using this particular product, and it's fanana, we've got the same skin types, same type of hair, and same blood type. Would you advise us to use the same product?
Yeah, you can, because it's not always the genetic link that make people react. Okay. It's usually the immune system of a particular individual. You can be part of the same family, and I have eczema, you have acne, so we are different. So you can use, particular products, but I think the learning thing as an individual, if you are reacting to an ingredient, it doesn't mean that your family will react, but for you, that's a learning not to push and use that ingredient again.
So but I can just make an assumption, which I don't really have to test this product because my sister has used it and she's okay.
That's a terrible assumption, because if you have a severe reaction, the thing about my ingredients is that they have so many names, and the names are so complicated. And then nobody turns a product and actually reads the ingredients. And so I could say, let's case in point of the guy who's reacting to an ingredient called PPD, because that's what he reacted to. But there's so many other compounds and almost like other PPD-like products in like ingredients in many products. So you may stop because product says PPD free, only to find that there are other hidden ingredients that you will react to. So it's not to say that it's a family thing, but it's an individual thing and more of a personal thing, and your skin, your immunity, and your reaction to a particular ingredient.
Okay, all right. No, point taken, got you. Let's take our very final ad break. We'll be right back. Leli Lungelo Lakho. Welcome to our very final segment. Siyaqhubeka futhi nenzaba yethu ke sikhuluma ke beauty products ukuthi ke ngimaphi la ingoti ngimaphi ke lekumele walandzele ikakhulukati lawo langaka regulator ngema authorities alapha eNingizimu Africa. Now we've touched more about the skin products. Now there's also the hair products. Kuna naku bathi ke labafundzile kuna bo frontal naku apparently bafaka iglue then nanathi ngalo tekufakwa nakhona kufakwa iglue but nakhona lapho kuba netinkinga letside. Maybe you can just tell us a bit more what could some of these problems be?
So glues have something that is called acrylates, which are these binding things that kind of create a very strong adhesiveness. Whether you find them in wigs and you find them in hair, you find them when you're installing eyelashes, you find acrylates when you're installing nails. And acrylates are probably one of the leading causes of allergic contact dermatitis in terms of reactions in the general population. And so someone will react to a glue because obviously, my frontal ladinga glue installation goes otherwise they're not looking cute. And we want you to be cute. We're not against the cuteness, but it's knowing that when you react to the glue, then you need to use alternatives than using glue on your thing. So they give you a hair loss like traction alopecia, they give you allergic contact dermatitis, they give you a lot of pigment on the forehead because of the scarring. Now imagine the eyelashes. Like I was telling you, I always joke to my patients that in 15 years time, you will have no hairline and you will have no lashes and all your nails will be gone because of these chemical reactions. That, and these allergic reactions in the nail, you get destruction of the nail, you'll get nail loss, you get fungal infections. So if your skin is reacting in a certain way, I think, people react badly when we say stop. And maybe we should listen because, these are lifestyle things and people express themselves in this way. I always say, give yourself a break. You can't move from lash to lash. Give your, put your lashes, but maybe 2 weeks, no lashes, good old mascara. Put your nails. After that, maybe a month or two, give your nails a break because it's too much consumption by the skin of allergens. And then later on, you will just not be able to tolerate them. So glueless installations are great.
Never mind my ignorance, Dr. Khoza. Gepa, if ngisebenzisa a product that is used on the surface of the skin, actually the product ayingeni inside the flesh for it to cause reaction. Can it cause reaction if it's on the surface?
Yeah. In fact, what you're raising is something that we have learned recently. We've learned that skin products, because we apply them so many times and all the time, there are things that we call endocrine disruptors. Yes. So it no longer ends with just you moisturizing your hair. Now we know that contacts with the skin, some of these ingredients do get systemically absorbed to actually affect your hormonal imbalances and send signals that are confusing to the body. So we have to be slightly careful.
So the body is not totally insulated from the surface products?
Some ingredients are smaller. Now, skin barrier is our thing as dermatologists, but we do know that certain products and a lot, even medication, does get systemically absorbed. So it's not completely isolated. They do affect us in the long run. Now imagine how many products a woman uses, from hair to makeup to eyelash to lipstick to nails. It's just compounding, and it does disrupt the barrier and it does penetrate. And long term, we're starting to link certain conditions with certain ingredients in our cosmetic products.
Gosh, now I know. I didn't know. Now I do. Now, Petro, what responsibilities do EMA manufacturers, EMA importers have, to ensure that EMA cosmetic products are safe in terms of usage, in terms of distribution, and so on?
Look, EMA requirements are very simple. They would have done their research. EMA products are meant for which country, for example. Ensure ukuthi your products are compliant with various laws. Your ingredients are compliant. You have tested when a product ipuma from the distribution center, isiya kuma shelves. requirement is that that product might be safe for consumption, a consumer.
Okay.
And if it is not safe, irresponsibility yako as a distributor, importer, manufacturer, to remove it from the shelves so that you minimize harm. And you don't do that silently or quietly. You have to inform our regulators so that i-consumer enayo lo product leyo, number one, kufuneka bayeke ukuyisebenzisa because kunama issues. Number two, mabayibuyisele back so that you can discard i-product lena.
Okay.
But thirdly, mabafumane imali yabo. So some of the manufacturers or brands babona process ye recall as a process, one, tedious, it's costly and all that. But we are saving lives here. The product, like what happened to the guy, where amehlo bevalekile, went to a clinic, to the hospital and all that. You don't know ukuthi if ebeqhubeke wayesebenzisa product bekuzakwenza ntoni. Ama long-term effects of using that particular product. So that is why CCT, the requirements throughout the world do ensure ukuthi products zakho are safe, are compliant. And we are calling on the industry to really organize themselves. We've got well-known brands kwi industry. We've got the brands as ifikayo. We've got the brands as iphuma ngaphandle. I-compliance is of importance to ensure that the product yakho accepted kwi market by e-users, but also e-regulators. So we really want to close gaps ezikhoyo ukuqinisekisa ukuthi number one sesiqala ngokuremove as products esithethe ngazo your skin lightening products, but it looks like the battle is still isende indlela basically. Because wherever we go, we remove today, 2 weeks when we go back, the product is back again.
Okay. We're out of time, unfortunately, but Dr. Khoza, earlier on you touched on the fact that some of the products get absorbed into the skin. I didn't know that. I thought since it's just a surface product, igcina khona lapho. But then experts like yourselves always encourage patch testing first. Applying a smaller product on the skin, on the on the hand, just to ensure my skin reacts positively to this particular product. So what is the best way or effective way you patch test a product ungakayisebenzisi?
I mean, there's two ways. There's what we call uncovered patch testing that people can do at home. So that is taking a product, maybe applying it on the inner part of your arm or behind your ear, and then watching for a reaction. If you get like an immediate reaction, that's what we call an irritant contact dermatitis. That product is a little bit too toxic for you. If that reaction maybe comes after 72 hours, then we know that you are going to react to that product long term. Your body doesn't like it, it's formed a sort of an immune reaction against it.
So how long should I wait before I make a determination or a decision, this product is now safe to use?
So all patch testing, 48 hours to 72 hours. We decide to read at 48 and 72.
Okay. Now, Petro, earlier on you mentioned manufacturers can actually sue a victim of a particular product if that patient had an adverse reaction. So I don't get it. If I used this particular product on my skin and my skin is reacting because of this particular product, why would they sue me?
Look, not necessarily when a doctor has confirmed. I was referring to abantu who would complain on socials, right? And then you say, okay, file a complaint so that we follow up, or give us the details. I don't know, I actually prefer to call them out on social media. Now, a manufacturer or a brand would want a proof that indeed leonto complaina ngayo, I am responsible, or my product is responsible for your reaction. And of course, that's where they will then throw to say, look, if you don't give us that proof, we will sue you for damages and all that. We have seen those happening, and we really want to protect the consumers because already you are going through this reaction. Yes, maybe the best way is to complain on social media, but then you get inbox or intimidation comment to say, we are going to take you on. Hence we say, rather follow formal processes of filing a complaint so that we are then able to bring a manufacturer or a distributor to say, we are seeing these complaints about the product yakho. What is happening? Take us, to confidence. What are the tests? What have you done? Are you aware? What is it that you can do? We then monitor, and then we say, okay, you are going to recall this product up until you are then certain that the product is safe.
So don't rush to social media.
Don't rush to social media.
Okay.
Abanye abantu, they do that. Other brands would actually respond and say, okay, sorry, we'll take you to a doctor and what have you. Maybe it works for them. But we also want to ensure, Nati, as a National Consumer Commission, that we are aware ukuthi kwenzeka ntoni behind the discussions, right? If, for example, but they will take you to a dermatologist and whatnot, is it the only case? Bakhona abanye abantu abareactayo? Did they really do what we're supposed to do? We're
out of time, unfortunately. But as a parting shot, Dr. Khoza, what's your advice to anybody who may be using any skin or hair product?
I would say just know your skin type, and listen to your skin. If a product is giving you red flags or feedback, it's not for you. There's many other alternatives. It shouldn't be a cost to look beautiful.
Oh yes, it shouldn't be a cost to look beautiful. Point taken. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Siyabonga uSikhathini. Kwanyalo kembukeli sesifike emaphethelweni ehlelo namhlanje. Ngibonge ivakashi state funeka kuba nathi kuze kube manje. Ngisaze boka kanye nani babukeli ngekusijoyina kuze sifike la ekugcineni kwaleli hlelo. Asihlangane futhi ke evikini elitako lapho ke sitaba silethela lenye indzaba letawutsinza nine emalungelo enu njengabathengi. From me, Simphiwe Ngongwane, and the rest of the team, sisinsale kahle. Wishing you a great week ahead. Cheers.
Aumela